Well, hello, world. We are live again here in Frisco, Texas, with something to talk about. And whoa, there she, no, there she is.
And there you
point,
are.
point the wrong way. There's one.
And that's Stuart.
You have to learn all kinds of new stuff virtually, don't you? You know, so we can do a fist bump there.
Oh, I think we're all going cuckoo. I have to tell you,
I think we've all been inside so long. I think you're right. We are going cuckoo.
well, and honestly, I'm so tired of seeing people in little squares. Even commercials are now in little squares. I just want to see people like together on TV again, like
Real time.
not in separate little squares. It
Yeah.
is amazing how many commercials are on right now that are like, I don't know, they're advertising things that are COVID related and messages, and I don't know, they're all in their little separate boxes. It's just amazing how quickly we kind of switch gears and our lifestyle is like all about this now.
Yeah, and again, as we've said before, is what's it going to be like when things do when this kind of starts to fade away and we go back to the way we did things? Are we going to go back and accept it, or are we going to say, I don't like the new. I want to go back to doing this. I keep thinking about, do I ever want to set foot in a studio again, or just continue doing this virtually? Because
Yeah.
it's kind of nice just doing it virtually. It must be for you because you get to sit out on your patio.
Yeah, I do like I'm out here a lot. My
Yeah,
pool's behind me and I got, just it's nice. So I mean I am outside a lot, but
nice
I
tall
don't know.
drink. You can call the pool boy to freshen your drink.
Well, my daughter's about to bring me a cup of coffee, so she's to
See,
interrupt us.
see,
I have them all trained in there. Another reason I'm out here is because I have a house full again, and I've got, Matthew here with his girlfriend. They're in the dining room with monitors and computers and everything, and they're working from home. And then, of course, Phil's in his office, and then I've got two who are doing online schooling. So for me to be yakking, I had to get out of the house because I've got WeWork going on in there.
right. Every room is a different office.
Every room's a different office. It's pretty fun though. I like having them all here, and I gave everybody a nice big breakfast this morning, and that's kind of my job in this whole thing is just to keep everybody going and just keep them as comfortable as can be so that they can be productive in their lives, because I don't have right now, a job. I mean, like a professional responsibility. So my job and responsibility is to kind of help keep them all afloat so that they can continue working and schooling.
You're the glue that's holding the family together.
I like to think so. But you said earlier, like, what's going to be like when we're all like really released. I know we've been a little bit released, but when we're all like really released, whenever that might be. But I think there are some things that I'll go back to and some things that I won't. Like, I've been doing my workout at home. Like, I mean, you know me, I've always been like, I get out and I run and I walk and I do those sorts of things. But I also loved going to the gym, not only just to get my workout in, but it was a social thing. But I've, over the past couple months, I kind of revamped my workout regime and like restructure, kind of redesigned it. And I have to say, we've got a little putting green over there, and I get out there, I've got all my equipment, and under beautiful sunny skies on most days here in Texas, it's been quite nice. I don't know that that's going to be the first place I'm going to run back to. I'll be honest with you.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to say, if you got an email that said, okay, the gym is opening up on Monday morning, are you going to be there?
No. And I love my gym. Listen, and it's just me. I hope that, look, I want every business to get back and flourish and get really, but it's for me, like, I don't know, like that's just not the first place I'm going to run back to for my own personal kind of issues and thoughts. And, so, and I've just become very comfortable doing my workout here, and it's been saving me a lot of time. And, so, but that's just me. I truly hope that, well, I don't know. I just hope that everybody gets comfortable going back to all places of business, right? I want them
Yeah,
all
well,
back.
I was at the grocery store over the weekend, and all of the help in the grocery stores and all seem to have masks on. They
Yeah,
all these glass screens at
right.
the checkout areas. But I was surprised initially when I walked in the first few times with the mask. I thought I felt a little embarrassed.
Yeah,
Saw everybody else wearing the face masks and all.
yeah.
More conscious now as I walk up and down the aisles to the people that are not wearing the masks.
Right, right. Me too. And I'm going to ask you, how does that make you? How does that make you feel? When you have a mask on and you're in a place, and I don't know, and then there are people who don't have masks on. You as a mask wearer, how do you feel about the non-mask wearers?
Well, my feeling is there's less chance that I'm going to spread any germs that they will. And not only am I wearing the mask, but I also have the wipes that I wipe the cart with. And I'll just take an extra precaution because certainly what they've told us is that this virus is spread more from the surface contact than it is even from sneezing or coughing. But when I see other people that are walking, down the aisle and they are not wearing a mask.
Hang on, Stuart.
Okay.
This is your old buddy. Say hi to Stuart. This is Emily.
Hi, Stuart.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I look so rough.
How are you?
Yeah,
One of my favorite Baylor Bears.
Thank you.
Thank you. I knew you'd want to say hi to Emily since she's been on our show a few times.
She has been. She's
a good girl. She just brought me my cup of coffee.
Your Magnolia cup.
You know what? Baylor sent this to Elizabeth. So, Elizabeth's going to Baylor. Let's hope anyway in the fall. Right? I don't know, but right now they're opening anyway. So she's going to Baylor. So Baylor University has been sending her little gifts as an incoming freshman. We got a little box of gourmet cookies, each packaged in an individual package with a different message, like we're in this together, or wash your hands, or some related little message. And the cookies were amazing. And then the other day, this came in the mail. It's a little Magnolia mug, and it came with a little note. Hope you're doing well and staying safe and staying well. Can't wait to see you. So I have to give a little shout out to Baylor University. It's been very, very fun. And they've been really, really sweet to the incoming freshmen, knowing that this has been, and they've been doing the same little things for their outgoing seniors, just trying to recognize those classes, those significant kind of, groups of students right now, the outgoing seniors from Baylor and then the incoming seniors from high school. So it's been fun for Elizabeth to get these little treats in the mail from her school.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of businesses and corporations are doing too. They realize that a lot of their people have been working from home and it's been difficult. And so they've been trying to reconnect and letting them know how much they care about what they've been doing. And here's a little something. I think it's a great thing for companies and corporations. It's just another way to say thank you for putting up with what you've had to put up with.
And I agree. And if a company can afford it, like I know there are some smaller businesses that can barely keep their head above water, much less throwing their employees a little bone. But, I know a man who's in banking, and he was able to find the funds to give all of his employees a little bonus just because, he just wanted to say, I know we're kind of going through some trying times right now, and we just want to recognize, and just show you that we care. And, here's a little bonus for, whatever. And that's just an example of one way that, people are just showing that, look, we are going to do what we can do. We're in this together. Obviously some messages or some little sentimental kind of, actions are bigger than others, because I'm getting to the flyover here in Frisco, Texas the other day, which I don't know if did you get out to get a good view of that?
I didn't get out to see it. I saw the coverage of it.
Well, talk about a way to pay tribute. I mean, and I'm not a crier. I mean, I'm telling you that we walked out, we just drove across the street here to the open field across Lebanon. So it started in McKinney, we're in Frisco, and then it went on down to Dallas. And we went to this open field because we looked at the flight pattern, and they flew right over our heads. And I'm going to tell you, Stuart, lump in throat, watery eyes. It
Hey,
was,
you know,
it was absolutely beautiful. I know they flew over like Houston. Of course, my sister's in New Jersey. They did a fly.
Right.
Magnificent.
yeah, it for just a moment at least, it just puts everybody back into that mood of saying, yes, we're going to make it through. We're going to get this through this together. It's the same thing like I see some of the coverage in some of the hospitals that, you know, these hospitals, unfortunately, almost on a daily basis are having to inform a family that their loved one did not make it through this virus. And it's a very, very difficult position to put, you know, even healthcare workers in. But then you see the coverage of somebody that's being wheeled out that beat the disease, and you know the people are in the hallways and they're clapping their hands and they got the balloons and they're saying thank you to the healthcare workers and all, and that kind of gives you that positive aspect of what these people are all about.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know, you're talking to me, and you know that I told you before, I have a hard time, even under normal circumstances, you know, watching the media, just because I don't like I just don't like negativity. I don't like all that. I just, you know, and so I don't watch a lot of it. I have to be honest with you. Phil kind of gives me what little pieces of information I want to know. And so I don't watch a lot of it. If I thought more of it was about the positives in all this, I might, but
You know,
too much of it just, it makes me, I try to sit down and watch a little bit, but it makes me sick to my stomach, and it literally makes me physically. So,
and I'm surprised. There's something that I have been a little bit surprised about, is that on the evening news, you know, they'll show how many new cases there were each day, you know, in the country, and they talk about how many people have died. Unfortunately, I don't understand why they don't have a handle on some statistics that show how many people have survived this illness.
yeah, I agree.
You know, if they say that 2,000 people lost their lives today, I wonder how many people, because of the work of our healthcare workers and those hospitals, have survived. Because maybe if we have lost 2,000 souls, regrettably, to the disease, maybe there were, you know, 40,000 that survived it. They went into quarantine, they came through, they are now, you know, disease free. And all, you don't see that positive statistic coming out. It's only how many more have been affected and how many more have died.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know. I wish that there was more of that. And whoa, Annie M. I don't know where this wind is coming from. I don't know. Like, I got in bed one night and I just tried to watch it with Phil, and it was just like, I don't know, this number 55,000 came up on the screen, and it was just dark, awful information. And I laid there as long as I could, and then I finally said, I can't. So I turned on, like, I don't know, a rerun of Friends or something, and Phil went into the other room and watched it. So, you know, it like some people, it works for them to just really, really get everything and try to, I don't know. But for me, what works is just doing what I'm been asked to do. And back to the mask thing, I do wear a mask. And because I just figure in this whole thing, I can only do what I can do as a human individual on this planet. And so
that's right. You're absolutely right.
You know, I can't do anything I can't do anything about the big, awful numbers. I can't do anything about, like, but what I can do is what I've been asked to do. And I don't know if masks work or not, but here's the deal. Like, I feel like I'm wearing it, and I don't go out a lot, but I'll go into the grocery store occasionally. And I feel polite. I just feel polite because I feel like I put it on, and it might make some people feel more comfortable and appreciate the fact that I'm respecting kind of their rights to be out. And, you know, and so that's just me. But, you know, if you don't wear a mask, I'm sure you have your personal reasons why you choose not to wear a mask. I've always said that to my kids in this whole thing is we have to have some grace in how we react to how people are reacting to this pandemic and how they're choosing to like respond to it. And because everybody has, you don't know their story, and everybody has their own personal reasons to react to it the way they are. And so for me personally, I wear a mask when I go out into like, now if I'm outside, no, like I see people wearing a mask, even if they're like walking outside, I don't do that. And they might have a reason why they do. I do wear it if I go into the grocery store. I have lived here almost 20 years. I've shopped at the same grocery store almost 20 years. Those employees, like, I know them. They're there because they have to be there. They're wearing a mask. I'm going to wear a mask until I'm told or whatever. So, and trust me, it's not comfortable. Like, I'm very claustrophobic. And when I have that thing on, I just can barely breathe. But
Yeah, I agree. But I think initially as I started wearing the mask for my benefit, and now I feel more comfortable that I'm now wearing it for other people's benefit too.
I think so. Yeah.
They can feel comfortable. And if I have to pass that couple in the aisle that is not wearing a mask, I have a tendency to just stop and face the product on the shelves and breathe in that direction, wait for them to go by, and then continue down that aisle. That's about the level of respect that I will have for them choosing not to cover their faces.
And I do the same thing. Like, I really try to recognize, you know, like, I don't pass somebody too closely. I try to kind of, you know, make the kind of 4 to 5, however much room you have. I have to tell you, we were walking at a kind of on hiking trails yesterday. We did about 5 miles, and there was a man in front of us, and there were other people behind us. And anyway, this man in front of us started to have like this pretty bad sneezing attack. And we were outdoors, of course, and he was maybe 12 to 15 feet ahead. But Stuart, it was very interesting because people stepped off the path and let him finish and let him walk on. And we were ones that did that because we just felt like, because he was really having, and it was most likely allergies. We were outdoors and he was clearly having some kind of, and he was doing it in his sleeve and in his shirt, and he was trying, but you know, it triggered a conversation as we got back on the path and continued walking. It's just like unbelievable to me, the reaction now that people are having to being in public, and somebody sneezes or coughs in public. People are a little bit like, I don't know, kind of freaked out. It's like, I just want that to get back to normal too. Like, somebody sneezes and people are, you know, like looking around, and I don't know. And
see, I think that's something that may carry forward, and that is that 6 months from now, when hopefully when this has passed, and you're out on that path again, and you encounter somebody that's coughing heavily or sneezing, you're probably going to continue to step off of the path or take a little bit, because that's something that we're going to learn from this experience. Maybe we just need to stay a little bit further away when that happens.
Yeah.
We're all going to be standing in line. We may not have to be 6 feet apart at the checkout counter at the grocery store anymore, but I'll bet there's a lot of people that are going to keep a little bit more than shoulder to shoulder.
I think so, at least for a long while. At least for a long while. I think you're right. We had to go to the post office yesterday. Emily and I did, because we had to renew her passport. And, you know, as most businesses have right now, there was tape on the floor, the distancing and the sign. I even said to Emily, I said, isn't it amazing? Because there's so much signage out, you know, like professionally done signage, like how quickly these companies got the I don't know, all their marketing, or not marketing, but you know, I don't know, place of business signs or whatever. But anyway, we were standing there socially distancing ourselves, and we got up to do our passport, and Emily went through it all. And of course we had masks on. And then she, I don't know why she had to tell, but Emily had forgotten she had her mask off. And at some point, oh, I know what it was. They had to look at her ID and then look at her. They had to compare and make sure she was who she was saying she was. And so the lady's like, you need to take your mask down. And Emily's like, oh, like she forgot she even had her mask on.
Yeah.
But
That
know,
would be funny to have a passport with a picture of you with a mask.
I know. Well, it's funny because there's this thing going on right now where a photographer is taking, I don't know what she calls it, but quarantine porch pictures or some kind of porch picture. It's basically she's capturing families at home during this time, and she's taking beautiful family pictures on their front porches. And a lot of the pictures are, of course, just nice, normal family pictures, but almost every family has also taken an additional shot of themselves on their porch with their masks on.
Yeah.
I
Here
mean,
we have before and after shot.
yeah, exactly. Like, there are going to be a lot of, we were out front the other day with our neighbors' young children, and they were doing some sidewalk chalk. And I think you and I talked about this last week, how sidewalk chalk has taken on a whole new kind of meaning because people are using it to share messages of hope and whatnot, or just make fun little pictures to look at while we're all out walking. Some of the kids are even making little obstacle courses that the younger kids can do while we're all out walking. But anyway, I said, there are going to be a lot of defining features, obviously, of this time in our lives, and obviously the big ones, all the statistics and all the horrible, but also the sidewalk chalk, the toilet paper, now the chicken again, as if there's a problem. Like, I mean, there are going to be so many, my father just today, I do his grocery shopping online for him. He's down in Houston. He does curbside pickup, but I go through the online process just because, it's easier for me to do it for him. And then he goes and he called me this morning. He said, Vaughn, go ahead and get some Clorox wipes on today's list. He said, Mother, and I've just run out. And I said, Dad, I mean, there are no Clorox wipes to be had. I the few times I go into the grocery store, I always take a little peek down the cleaning aisle, and for some reason, the Clorox wipes still haven't come back. So I don't know.
I was at the store the other day, and there was probably, I saw 12 packages of toilet paper left. And of course, I grabbed one, and the sign said one per.
Yeah.
But you're right, no wipes. And the other thing is, Lauren and I are in a book discussion right now, in a book discussion group, and we're meeting once a week. And what this is it's a discussion about a book, and it has to do with baking bread. So we all decided that everybody that was in the discussion group this week was going to bake bread. Do you realize you cannot find any yeast in any of the stores right now because the whole world is baking bread?
I bet.
Well, I thought, okay, I'll just go over and get the flour and the yeast, and everyone will bake the bread. We've been to 6 places already, and we haven't found the yeast yet.
Unbelievable. It's very funny that you bring that. My neighbor next door, Annie, she just made us fresh home baked bread yesterday. She happened to have yeast, so she had it. So I don't know, but
Okay.
she did, but for a while it was even hard to find flour. But flour's come back, and really every time I've been in, I've seen a lot of paper products like toilet paper and paper towels. I've seen a lot of that coming back. Even Costco seems to have replenished their supply nicely. But I almost predicted this. I think I even said this last week when the media started talking about the meat plants, when really it's a very small percent, like 4%. I don't even know, it's teeny tiny percent of, and they're even coming back. But I knew the minute the media was going to say something about it, that the grocery stores, who, by the way, had been kind of rocking along kind of just fine, plenty of meats, chicken, pork, whatever. And sure enough, we went day before yesterday to get some chicken, and there was no chicken to be had in 2 places that we went. We went to 2 places, and there was no chicken. So, a lot of reaction is based on what the media says, and I think that they need to be more careful preventing panic. I just wish they'd be because what they say, they might
overreaction.
They might not mean it, but what they say turns out to be like now what we have here. You can't get chicken. So
yeah.
And so what am I going to do? Because we eat a lot of chicken. What's the girl going to do?
What I'm finding is that there's still plenty of fish out there.
Yeah.
You can get lots of fish fillets and everything.
Unfortunately, I'm not a seafood.
Oh, really? We are.
Lucky. Well, my family loves salmon, And so I always like, I'll cook salmon and every now and then I'll eat salmon with them, but I'm not a big, but I'll sometimes do like chicken on the side when they do the salmon. But you're right. Salmon, tons of shrimp. Uh-oh.
You have to roll with the flow.
We have
We must have said something because Michigan is chiming in.
I had to chime in for a second because up here we're having the same issue with meat. You can get plenty of pork, you can get plenty of ribs and plenty of other stuff, but what we have a lot of is turkey. We eat turkey a lot here at the house.
Yeah, I like turkey.
Chicken's kind of our secondary, but turkey is our primary.
Yeah.
But we tried to get some beef yesterday when we went to the grocery store. Beef was all 100% out. We could get it in other flavors of stuff, and ribs and things like that. But we do a lot of hamburgers and we just use turkey meat.
Yeah.
And but we tried to get a couple of chickens, and there was some there. But
Can't you
get the big boob, or a lot of chicken legs or something, but not in your regular thighs and things. So
can't you just go in the woods behind your house and shoot a moose or something?
Well, I was just talking to one of my buddies on the phone, and I was telling him, said, we've got black squirrels here, which are a little bit bigger than regular squirrels. But I have two.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, they're black. I mean, they're like a carbonite, charcoal, slate gray, blackish, and they're fast too. When you see them go across the land, they're extremely fast. But we have two Murmots that live here, and
what?
Murmots.
I'm looking it up on the phone.
What's
Y'all
a
know what a
Murmot?
Murmot is?
No.
Oh.
Here, Stuart, I'm going to get it on the phone for a second.
How is it that I'm younger than you guys, and I know what a Murmot is, and I see them in Colorado, and I've got them here in Michigan, and you don't know what a Murmot is?
It's a rodent.
Yes, I get it.
Oh,
They're like a beaver.
They're like
They can get 2 feet long, 10 to 12, 15 inches wide, and about 8 to 9 inches high.
I moved here from Florida. We have alligators.
Y'all see the Murmot?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
All right.
Oh.
Where's the
Yeah.
camera? All right.
Yeah, looks like a little beaver with the teeth there.
Right. Yep. We've got 2 of them here, and
He's
but
kind of
yeah,
cute.
so I just thought I would chime in about the meat.
Wait,
you
so
guys
do you eat the Murmot? Are they like something you want to eat?
No,
or are we
you don't
talking
eat 'em.
Are we talking a potential bat situation?
No, we're talking a potential bad situation. You don't want to eat it. It's bad juju.
Do you eat the black squirrels?
You can,
Oh,
but I'm not eating anything off my land. That's bad juju.
I'll stick with the fish.
But I'll tell you what, I'll
I'm
send you.
going to go looking for my chicken.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to chicken and fish.
So I'm like Vaughn. I don't like seafood. I don't like fish that moves, So, but when it comes to fish, though, I do like salmon. Kim makes some really awesome salmon patties. But I don't like. Only fish I really, really like is the nastiest fish of all, which is the catfish. I love the bottom feeders because, fried catfish or blackened catfish is
Tilapia.
awesome.
Tilapia is a bottom feeder, right?
Yeah, and I like tilapia. We have tilapia every once in a while, but it depends on where you get it from. You can get bad tilapia.
Yeah.
And I've had fin before, and I've had sharkfish. But what I don't like is trout. I was raised on it, and I had it young, and I guess it was good. But about 8 or 9 years ago, Kim and I, with her grandfather and all, went up to Colorado, and we got about 30 hybrid trouts, different trouts, rainbow trouts, some hybrid trouts, and a few others. And the first bite I took into it, I puked. I got sick, and I was like, "That's it, no more trout." So now, when I even think trout, it's like tequila. I can't drink tequila. I can just put a little bit tip on my tongue, and I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
So my body just doesn't tolerate it anymore.
Yeah. Well, once you've had a bad experience, like with something like that, like that's Phil and pineapple. Once you have a bad experience with something like that, you kind of your psyche tells you not to go back there.
Yeah.
I'm that way with cottage cheese.
Oh, I love cottage cheese. I love I love cottage cheese. And you know what else I love? We're starting to get gross now. I'll eat spinach right out of the can, like Popeye spinach can. Like, and my kids are like running from the room when I do that.
So they should come to my house because I have a 3-gallon bucket of cookie dough.
Oh, I can eat that.
That's right. Yeah, you don't need to bake it. Just right out of the pan.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me
There's a
ask
Coke
you:
float sitting right next to you.
have y'all gained any weight during this quarantine?
About 5 pounds.
You have, for real?
Didn't you see the post that I put on my Facebook page?
I may have missed it. What was it?
I stepped on the scale, and it said to me, we require social distancing, only one person at a time.
You were the one that posted that. Kim told me about that. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of funny.
Now, I don't own a scale, but I know that I have, and it's funny because I've never walked so much in my life. I don't know. I think it must just be, I got to stop putting the fork in my mouth, I guess is the problem.
Well, you can eat all day long as long as that you're staying active. And that's the issue for me. I weigh 210, 215. That's where I still weigh. I should weigh probably 195, 200. But I know I've gained about 5 pounds, but I still weigh under 215.
Yeah.
But I'm busy all day long.
Right.
And so, but I'll eat all day long. I mean, like I'll have 4 or 5 snacks during the day, and we eat 3 meals a day. I'm eating a lot, but I'm also running around and moving around. So as long as you're not sitting on the couch and goofing off and getting rid of your calories and stuff, it's not like you have to like work out every day. It's just doing normal things.
Just keep moving.
Right.
And I'm still on my seafood diet.
So you see it and you eat it.
I see it. Oh. In fact, I'm thinking about. I'm getting hungry now just talking about it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. A little violin playing.
Hey, Mark, did you have any flyovers where you live?
No, but I saw a lot of the videos online.
It was so
That was really cool.
I tell you what, we pulled over. I told you heard me in the field over there off of Lebanon, and we were in our convertible, so we were open to the sky. It was just, and my girls were with me, and I got so choked up. And I don't know, it was just, I don't know, it made me think of, because it was a tribute to the healthcare workers and the first responders and all. And I don't know, it just touched me so much. It was just such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we haven't experienced that, but we've been out in town a couple of times. And since we have a new dog with that kind of,
you have a puppy? Do you have a puppy?
Yeah, we got a new puppy.
Can we see the puppy?
I can go downstairs and get her if you'll hold on a minute.
Okay, we'll talk while he goes get his puppy.
Okay, all right.
No.
Hey, by the way, we got a quarantine. Hey, so he left, but we got a quarantine kitten.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should go get our quarantine kitten. And although I'm afraid to bring her outside, she's very squirmy. She might just hop off.
My daughter is fostering a puppy.
Oh, during quarantine?
Yeah, and I forgot what it is, but it's a puppy now, but it's going to be a monster when it grows. But
are you and Lauren getting out anymore with some of these restrictions being kind of lifted?
Yeah, I mean, we go to the grocery store, about once a week. We went over to a nursery yesterday and we got some flowers to put in some pots in the backyard, and getting out for a little while. Haven't gotten the restaurant urge yet.
Yeah, we haven't either.
Either indoors or outdoors. We were by a couple of restaurants and saw people dining in. I think our first step may be those that have outdoor dining.
That's what we're gonna do.
Few weeks, we might venture out and do that. But we're taking it one step at a time, especially because we're seniors and because we are at the most at-risk category of folks. But as we were talking about earlier, I think everybody's got to just make up their own mind what they're going to do. If you do decide you are going to go out and you're going to go to restaurants and all, just be respectful of the people around you. Instead of sitting in the table next to somebody else, go 2 or 3 tables away.
Yeah.
And just kind of keep that safe distance. I have to admit that most of the restaurants and all are. There's Luna.
Oh, look at it.
Hello, Luna.
Oh, is it a boy or girl?
It's a girl. Her name is
Hi,
Luna,
Luna.
and
Look
she
at her.
is a Belgian sheepdog.
She's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let me see her body. She's so cute. How big is she gonna get?
She will get about 24 inches at the shoulder. So, mini German Shepherd.
She's beautiful.
She's pretty.
Yeah. So she's registered AKC, and obviously you can see her ears are up.
Yep.
And they do go together quite a bit. I mean, they get really close sometimes when she's alert. But
Is she a hunting dog?
Wolf-like.
What?
See? Look at her wolf-like. See her mouth?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So wait, is she a hunting dog?
Huh?
Is she a hunting dog?
No, she's a herder.
A herder. Hi, Luna. She is so cute. Does she still have that puppy smell? She's so cute. Oh my god.
Stay away from me. Look at the people. See?
Hi, Luna.
Hi, Luna.
All right,
So-
I got to put her down. She's angry.
Okay.
Mark, does she still have that puppy smell?
Oh, yeah.
I love that puppy breath, that puppy smell.
Yep. And I can't wait till she gets out of that in the poop stage because her poop stinks.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
How
Hey,
is she?
hold on, I'll get back.
Okay. Oh, that's so funny. She's so cute.
Oh.
Hey, Stuart.
Hey, there I am. Hey, you know what? Well, he's got it on until he gets back. I would like to share something.
Yes.
You and with our audience. I'm going to have to turn my light around a little bit to read this. But we talked about one thing we were going to talk about a little bit. It was our healthcare workers and pay tribute to them and how hard they are working. And I would like to read something that I got from a very dear friend. Her name is Jessie Toussaint, and she is a nurse here in the Dallas area. And let me just read this because I think that this is a real tribute to our nurses and doctors and healthcare workers. She writes, I suspect it's hard to love anyone in the healthcare field. We get up early and don't have time to drink coffee over the newspaper. We come home late and are too tired to cook. We work extra hours because we know that there are sick people who need us, and we are all that they have. We miss events, holidays, birthdays, and our children's school sports games, and we don't get too excited over your minor boo-boos. We've seen far worse. We think about our patients even when we leave the building, wondering, did we help them in any special way because they depend solely on us for all their needs? We don't want to talk when we come home. We've talked all day. We don't want to move when we come home. We've moved all day. It seems that we have left all of our caring, our heart, and our love at work, and then come home to you, empty. We probably have, but we don't tell you that many times at work. We're mired in anxiety and we're scared we're missing something, scared we will let our patient down, or worse, our patients and our families too. We don't tell you how some of our patients are dying, and this makes us cry on the way to work, to do a job we love, but how we're terrified too, because it is breaking us down while putting the most vulnerable at risk. We don't share with you how our hearts melt when our patients give us that loving smile that makes our day. I suspect it is hard to love healthcare workers, but know this: your healthcare worker needs your love, your understanding, and to know that you get it. We need to be the one taken care of every once in a while. We need someone else to take charge of details because doing it ourselves constantly is exhausting. We need a shoulder to cry on when we can't even tell you why we're grieving. We need you to know the hardest work that you ever do, which is to love a healthcare worker. This is our calling, to help our patients, our passion, and our reason for living. I would like to thank those of you out there who love us and let us do this work, pursue this calling, and living this life. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I do too.
And Jesse, I want you to know that we do love and respect you and all of your fellow healthcare workers, because you're right. We don't really fully understand all that you go through all day and then have to bring it home totally exhausted and turn around and do it again the next day.
Who wrote this, Stuart? Who wrote that?
It was sent to me from Jessie Toussaint, who is a nurse in the area. I think she's at she may be at Plano Hospital, and I'm not totally sure if this was her hand or somebody that she works with wrote this and she passed it on. But I just felt so moved by the fact that a healthcare worker would take the time to say, we're doing it because this is what we were trained to do. This is what we love to do. We never thought we would have to do it to this degree and this deep, but we are, and we'll continue to do it. And for those of you that thank us, like the Blue Angels flying overhead, that's what it's all about.
That's really beautifully written.
And I'm going to shout out to somebody else, and I hope maybe he's listening. He's a friend. His name is Ken Atlas, and he is a policeman down in the Florida Keys where we used to live. And for the last almost a month, Ken has been at the entrance to the Florida Keys checking IDs because they have put a moratorium on non-residents in the Florida Keys, and only residents are being allowed in. And this gentleman has been working at least 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last month, and just checking IDs of people coming and going in and out of the Keys. And again, one of our first responders who is going above and beyond the call of duty in order to keep us safe. So to people like Jessie Toussaint and to people like Ken Atlas and all, I am in your park 100%, and thank you for all that you do. And this goes a ripple effect to all of our first responders, our healthcare workers, our doctors, our nurses, our teachers who are going that extra route to try and keep all of our children educated in this troubled time as we approach the end of what would normally be the school year. And a lot of people are giving 110% and all, and I, for one, and I can speak for one, we applaud you for everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. Don't forget the grocery store workers. They've been dealing with.
And there was a post from a friend that said, it really burned his butt because he called a restaurant, and restaurants have been trying to prepare meals to deliver curbside.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's happening is that there are workers that are working under these tough conditions in some of these restaurants to deliver goods at the curb, and people are not leaving tips. They just figure, well, I'm doing all the work. I'm ordering it online. I'm driving over to pick it up. So a lot of these workers who rely on tips are not getting them. So that's another message, that if you are ordering pizzas and picking them up, and you're ordering food to be picked up at the curb, or even DoorDash and that kind of stuff, drop a little bit of a tip because you're helping these people out.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
It's tough, but we have to be. I really hope that we are seeing kind of the downside of all of this around the corner, and that we will be able to blend back into our society as we know it fairly soon, and all. But be respectful of everybody now, and then carry that forward, because when we do get back to whatever we call our new normal, we're going to have to continue to be respectful of each other.
Definitely. Be patient, be understanding.
Yeah.
Be gracious, all that. I have to ask you, because I don't know if we're getting into new topics or not, but are we doing 45 minutes or an hour? Where are we on things?
We can pretty much do our thing. We probably will probably wrap it up within the next so many minutes, because Mark's going to be doing another show.
All right. I just wasn't sure how.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I
I
wasn't
probably
sure.
should start wrapping it up now, because I've got exactly 10 minutes to the next show.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can do that. thank you again, Mark, for producing the show from up in Michigan and all.
Absolutely.
And thank you to Vaughn for being my sidekick, being there. You know, we've been co-hosts for almost 5 years now, and I appreciate and love every minute of it.
I have canned air. If I had a blowhorn, I'd blow it.
Now you might wake up the moose.
Yeah, you're just gonna get canned air.
I want Luna. I want to love on the puppy. I want to quarantine with Luna.
Yes, awesome. You can have the poop and all.
Oh my god.
There you go. That's a bonus, right?
Right. Yeah.
You call it composting.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
It's been
thanks
fun.
everybody for
Always
tuning in.
enjoy.
For something to talk about. And Vaughn, we'll see you again next week, right here at 11 o'clock on Friday. And go out and make it a good weekend. Make it a good week ahead. Be respectful of each other, and stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. We'll see you again next week on something to talk about.
Bye.
See you guys later.